Who is Mr. Club President?
أنا مو خايف إلا منك.
Okay, so shall I start, Mr. President, with your permission? I will stand in as Sergeant at Arms.
Still setting up, done, redirect. I think now you can start. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. So ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters, boys and girls, fruits and flowers, welcome to Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters Club meeting number 212. I have pleasure in kicking things off. Just some ground rules. When you are not speaking, please be on mute. If you can, keep your video on. We would like to see your lovely faces. If your face is not lovely like mine, still keep it on because we would still like to see your face. You will know where the emergency exits in your various locations are. Please feel free to use them if there's any emergencies. And now, let me hand over to the president of our club. This gentleman literally has every possible conceivable role in District 20. And I heard behind our backs, he's also doing roles in other districts. We are watching you, sir. Please behave yourself. This gentleman has been a backbone of Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters since our revival. And now he has taken on a bigger role in the district and we wish him nothing but the best. CGD of District 20, President of Bahrain Advanced and a member of Bahrain Petroleum Company and St. Paul's Toastmasters. And I remember, I think he has also joined another club in Kuwait without telling us. Please put your hands together and welcome with a thundering round of applause, our President, DTM Khalid Abdullah. The floor is yours, sir.
That's a lovely introduction. Thank you so much, Acting Sergeant Arms and the Vice President of Education of this club, DTM Farhaz Farouk. Let me call meeting number 212 to order. Let's move to the next item in the agenda, which is apologies. Do we have any apologies? I know that Toastmaster Ghulam Farouk apologized. Any other apologies from the floor?
Mr. President, there was an apology from Toastmaster Vidat. She has got called into work in the last minute, so she had to apologize and pull out. There is also like a semi-apology from Toastmaster Pitambaran Nair. He is scheduled to do a speech, but he has been also called in for some emergency work and he had to rush to Saudi Arabia. I have left his speech on and told him if he can join in as late as possible. So I have put his speech to the last. So please record it as an apology for now. Other than that, I didn't receive any other apologies. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Vice President of Education. Do we have any other apologies? Okay, I assume that we don't have any apologies. And since the Vice President of Education was having the podium as well, okay, virtual podium, is there any changes in the agenda? So I can see Toastmaster Widad is not presenting or not having a speaking slot, and then we have Toastmaster Bitambaran. Any other changes in the agenda?
Mr. President, I hope you're looking at the final agenda I sent a few minutes back.
Yeah,
I have taken out Vidat speech. I have taken it out.
Okay.
So effectively, we have 4 speeches lined up. Toastmaster Pitambaran's speech, I have put it to the last spot, hoping that he can join even late. Other than that, all the other role players are in. What I suggest is we adopt the agenda as presented, subject to Toastmaster Pitambaran coming in later and joining. If not, let us consider that speech as cancelled.
Okay, so I will, thank you so much. I'll take this as a motion on the floor. So could you please have a second for this motion? Anyone second the motion of our Vice President of Education? Yes, please, DTM Ratender.
I second the motion presented on the floor by Toastmaster Faraz.
Thank you. Thank you so much, DTM Ratender, for that. Great. Let's now move on to the guest introduction. This is my favorite time of the day, the meeting, when having guests, that means we are really growing and we are attracting more audience from outside. So let me move on. And the first guest who just came right, I think before me, she got in, she could not see anyone, she got out, she got in again, and there I was. Toastmaster Daisy, would you please say a few words to introduce yourself?
Okay, good afternoon, my fellow Toastmasters. I'm TM, the Sergeant Arms of PTAB Toastmasters Club. Actually, it is a new club. It's only more than a year. And PTAB stands for Filipino Teachers Association here in Bahrain. And this is my first time to be here in Advanced Toastmasters Club. So I'm sure that I will enjoy the meeting. Thank you so much, and back to you, DTM Khalid.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Daisy, for joining us. I will definitely introduce you again for your role, and I will keep whatever I will say later on for your role. Let me move on to Toastmaster Gabby's. Am I pronouncing the name correctly?
That's the name of their club, Mr. President, Gabby's.
Okay, I do apologize then. Could you please introduce yourself?
We can start with Toastmaster Rinku, our guest speaker.
Okay.
Hi, good
Toastmaster. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hi, I'm Toastmaster Rinku. I'm from Gabby's Club. I'm based out of Bangalore in India, and I will be a speaker today. So I'm very thankful that I have this opportunity today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, sir. I'm sure we look forward to hearing from you today, definitely. So should I move to your supporter to introduce herself?
Yeah, hi, I am Akanksha. I am also from the Gabbies. I'm the treasurer for Gabbies. And as you mentioned, I'm here to support Rinku. And it is my first time visiting your club, and I'm looking forward to hearing all the speeches and attending it. Thank you.
Can you repeat the name, ma'am?
My name is Akanksha.
Thank you very much, Akanksha.
Thank you so much for joining us here today, Akanksha. We are really blessed to have you all the way from Sri Lanka. Thank you so much for joining. Sorry?
From Bangalore.
Bangalore. Sorry. Bangalore, sorry. This Vice President of Education is really pulling my leg somehow. I think that everyone is sitting in his place. Thank you for joining us from Bangalore. Thank you. Let's move on to someone who has been here for this is maybe the second or third time. Toastmaster Nadia, please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Toastmaster Nadia. I'm actually a new Toastmaster member. I'm from DR United Company, and I look forward to not only attending this meeting, but taking on a role as talk counter. So thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nadia, for joining us here today as well. Let's move on to Toastmaster Hazem. Toastmaster Hazem, please introduce yourself.
Hello, thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to all the members for having me here today. It's really a pleasure to be back after so long, and I can see some of my old friends there. Ali Shahbaz, how are you? Said Abbas. Thank you for having me here. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much and welcome back, Toastmaster Hazem. We'd love to have you not just for this meeting, but for so many other meetings as well coming in the future. Thank you so much for joining. And I can see also Dad, Division A Director, DTM Anne de la Cruz. Would you please say a few words?
Good afternoon, and thank you, DTM Khalid and all the rest of Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters. Happy to be here and witness this awesome meeting, which I'm sure will be more fabulous because Khalid is already like smiling his megawatt smile. Looking forward to being here and seeing all the awesome things that you guys have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Division A Director, for joining us here. That marks all of the guests that I can see. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here today for such an important meeting during the the term. When I say important, all of our meetings are important. But the longer we go through the term, the more important, the importance of the meeting becomes. For one reason, let me tell you a small story. Yesterday, I attended, let me count the meetings, okay, regardless of the number of meetings, but I attended 2 contests. After attending one of the contests, I received a message from one of the contestants who said, ETM Khalid, I think Toastmasters is not for me. I could not do it today. She did not win. And she felt, well, that's it. I think this is not for me. I can't compete. I tried my best. I'm sure many of us been there, heard that, could be also done that. At the same time, being as well as CGD, whenever I look at the dashboard these days, whenever I approach the other club president, the same thing is they say, well, we've been here. It has been a difficult term. We don't know whether we really need to renew. We are chasing the members and we are not able to do it. My message to you, lovely members and guests, persistence and perseverance. We all go through that. And definitely, yes, I echo back whatever the presidents have been telling me. It has been a difficult term. But what distinguishes one leader from an extraordinary leader is those difficult times. And especially when we go approaching the end of the term. Maybe at the beginning of the term, everyone is optimistic and they look forward to the term, and they look forward to have a new start. But now is the decisive moment for those extraordinary leaders. And I put back this on the table. Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club is the first advanced Toastmaster club in the Middle East, if not in region 11. We have an image for us to retain and maintain. And other clubs would definitely look forward to us as a role model during such difficult times. We proved to ourselves, we proved to everyone else that we are a real advanced club under the theme of advancing a legacy. We are having a legacy that we are advancing one meeting after the other. And we are not just only meeting once now. Yes, the club is supposed to meet, and this is the formal meeting day, 3rd Saturday of each month, and everyone is welcome. But we are, I think, going beyond that. We are going beyond even the borders of our imagination. We just had a successful joint meeting with a Malaysian Toastmaster club, and we had over 100 attendees during that meeting. And we are still continuing with our oldest goal, which is our flagship for this year. All of you, Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club, should be really proud of being a member of this club. And I'm sure Dr. Ramsey Smedley was here among us today, would definitely say the same. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here and for being the leaders you are. Let's move on to the business session. And before I move on to the business session, let me call on our eager secretary to tell me whether we have a quorum first. DTM Ratender.
Yes, sir. We have a quorum.
Great.
We have 18 participants. Out of that, our members are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, sir. We have a quorum. And
Great.
I like that smile, Toastmasters Zara. Yes, we have a quorum.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Secretary. Would you mind reading very brief minutes? Because I know that we have 2. So if you can just the highlights, and not, I know that you are very detailed in reading minutes of meeting, just the highlights. Over to you, Mr. Secretary. DTM.
Okay, Mr. President. This is minutes of meeting of the Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club, joint meeting number 211. The meeting was opened by Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Mariana Benedict. She welcomed the gathering and clarified the rules, and she introduced the TMOD Faraz Farooq. The TMOD then greeted both the club Toastmasters and welcomed them. The TMOD then introduced the presidents of both clubs, DTM Khalid and Toastmaster Karni Ali. Both the presidents spoke and acknowledged the gathering. They expressed their happiness at the joint meeting and thanked DTM Faraz for the initiative. The TMOD introduced the speakers of the session. The keynote speakers were DTM Mohammad Shukri, and the title of his speech was Escaping the Maze. Toastmaster Tammy Miller then spoke, and the title of her speech was Just So. Toastmaster Kishwin, he also spoke, and he was the last speaker. The title of his speech was Dance in the Storm. After the speeches were completed, the panel moderator, DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali, was introduced by the TMOD Faraz. The panel moderator started the panel discussion. He took questions from the audience and those sent through the chat box. The speakers elaborated on the questions and received from the audience. After the end of the panel discussion, presenting of certificates was done by Toastmasters Ummi Sada, Saleh Huddin, and Faraz Farooq. The guest feedback was moderated by Toastmaster Zara Al Marouk and Faradila Zan Noon. A vote of thanks was presented by Toastmasters Ummi Sada. The meeting was adjourned by both the presidents of Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters Club and Fusion Inspired Toastmasters Club. The meeting ended by 6:08. Mr. President.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, DTM Ratinder, for the lovely brief of the minutes of the meeting. Let's move on to the reports by our lovely officers. And let me share my screen for that. Okay, the first officer, I don't see her around, Toastmaster Rana, but I'm sure she is maintaining all of that, and she has been also sending the certificates. I missed something very important. Yes, thank you so much, Vice President of Education. And for this, let me stop sharing because it's important to see others. Can we have a motion to adopt the minutes of the meetings as read by our secretary? Who would?
Mr. President, I am DTM Faraz, and I propose that the minutes as read can be accepted.
Thank you so much, DTM Faraz. Who would second?
Yes, Mr. President, DTM Ahmed Rizvi, member of this club, seconding that motion.
Thank you so much, DTM Ahmed Rizvi, for seconding the motion. Yeah, that's very important. Thanks for the heads up, DTM Faraz. Let's move on to the officers' reports. Sergeant, I'm done. Our treasurer, he is in another meeting, I think. Are you here?
No, I am there. Yes, yes,
okay.
I am there.
Please.
Good afternoon to all leaders, Mr. President, and fellow Toastmaster guests. As a treasurer today, first one, I renewed for the 15 members in the Bahrain Advanced Club Toastmaster. And I think that maybe the total of money more than 300 dinar, inshallah. And second, request all other members to please pay 18 for 1 April to 13 September. Thank you very much, and I hope pay the money. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Treasurer. I think these days the treasurers are really happy. No spending, but money is being collected. Thank you so much, DTM Hamad, for your report. Let's move on for our secretary. Do you have anything to report, Mr. Secretary, apart from minutes of meeting?
Nothing else, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, DTM Ratinder. Okay, Vice President of Public Relations. For this, I will not use the slides. I will, in fact, let her share her slides because we have nice present today for everyone. DTM Zahra.
Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Something is coming from my end. Yes, I
Yeah?
can see now. Yes.
Nice and clear. Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, my fellow members, brothers and sisters. As I promised last month, that this month we will release the newsletter, the first newsletter for the term. And as you can see, this is the cover page. At the top, we had like the physical meeting photo, and at the bottom, the online meeting. So let me just share with you. So as you can see, the XCOM members and the content, the winners of the division and area, the Distinguished Toastmaster Award. Then here a few articles from some of the members and from Toastmasters International, all the oldest gold speaker. Then more articles from the here. I collected as much as I can, all the physical meeting photos that I had from 2004, since we established Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters, until 2020, before the pandemic. And this is the virtual meetings, more articles, and that's it. Please, please, please follow and like all the posts. That's it, and back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, DTM Zahra, for the lovely surprise. And yes, you promised us that and you made it. Thank you so much, DTM Zahra, and our immediate past president, of course. Great, so let's move on to another important moment as well. And you can see the smile on our Vice President of Membership. Vice President Membership, DTM Sayyid Abbas, take it away. You're muted, so let me unmute you.
Yes, I did. Thank you so much, Club President DTM Khalid, and to all club members and XCOM. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And of course, good morning or good night for those, good evening for those who have different time. Yes, we will have a very good induction ceremony for a new member. We will induct a new member, Toastmaster Deepak. Straight after the business session, I believe.
We can do it now. I'll stop sharing. You can go ahead.
All right, then we will start with the induction ceremony. We will go with the virtual format, so to make it easy for everybody. Fellow Toastmasters and our guest, it's now our duty and privilege to induct Toastmasters Deepak, a new member into the Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club. This is an important occasion, both for the new member and for our club. The individual have come to Toastmasters seeking to improve his communication and leadership skills, and we now have the opportunity to help him learn, grow, and achieve. Toastmaster Deepak, you are joining. I hope you are hearing me, Toastmaster Deepak.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon. Toastmaster Deepak, you are joining a worldwide organization who has helped more than 4 million people around learning to communicate more effectively. As a member of this club, you will benefit from proven programs of self-development. You will become a part of an outstanding group of people who are dedicated to helping one another in a spirit of sharing and enjoyment. Our lovely Vice President Education, DTM Faraz Farouk, have the new member assigned a mentor?
Yes, Mr. Vice President Membership, would you like me to name the new mentor, the mentor
Yes,
for the new member?
Yes, please.
It's my deep honor and privilege to be the mentor for Toastmaster Deepak.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. As experienced Toastmasters DTM Farhaz Farouk, you have been asked by yourself also to help the new member getting off a good start. Do you accept the responsibility and pledge to share your knowledge and experience with our new member so that he can immediately begin to benefit from their Toastmasters membership?
This is the only man-on-man relationship in which I will say I do.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Membership in this club and in Toastmaster International is indeed a privilege that carries with it many rewards. Yet, it also places a certain obligation upon you. We are a group of people brought together to do things we could not accomplish alone. Our collective obligation is to grow and improve ourselves and to share our knowledge and experience with fellow members in a spirit of enjoyment. This means you must work diligently toward your own self development, evaluate others, speech in a spirit of support and sharing, assist the club in reaching its goals. Remain positive and keep a smile on your face all the time as much as possible. Now, to make it easy, Mr. Deepak, we will go for Toastmaster pledge. I will ask you to announce your name. Then at the end of the pledge, I will ask you to say, I do, or up to you, you can say, I don't. So, Deepak, your name?
Deepak Naravade.
In the presence of my fellow members of the Bahrain Toastmaster Advanced Club, make this firm obligation to attend meetings regularly and prepare fully for each assignment, to apply myself to the project outlined in Toastmasters educational program, to practice actively in club activities, to evaluate others in a positive, constructive manner, to build an open, friendly relationship with my fellow members, and to bring other new members into the club so that they can also gain the benefit of Toastmasters. Would you raise the right hand and say, I do?
I do.
Thank you so much. You will be asked to go for 2 minutes to speak in front of the Toastmasters why you have chosen Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club to join. After we also, as a member, promised to assist you. Now, for all the club members, I'll make it also easy for you. I will say the promise, and at the end, you just raise your hand, right hand side, and say, I do. We, the members of Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club, pledge to support you in your quest for self-development, to provide you with a positive, helpful evaluation, to maintain a friendly, supportive atmosphere, to give you opportunities to help others, and to make your Toastmasters membership a rewarding and a fulfilling experience. With all Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club members pledge,
Yes,
I do.
I do.
I do.
Thank you so much.
I do.
Now let's have 2 minutes where Toastmaster Deepak will present us a speech of why he joined Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club and the expectation from this. With a very big round of applause, let's welcome Toastmaster Deepak.
Thank you, DTM Abbas. Thank you very much for this great opportunity to join this club and be part of this encouraging, most vibrant Bahrain Advanced Club. In fact, where I was in Qatar and I was a Toastmaster there for a few years. I moved to Bahrain recently. After moving to Bahrain, of course, it was a lockdown and all those things, and I was missing the action. So one fine day, I decided, okay, let me have clubs which are nearby. I opened a Google map and I found various clubs. I dropped a message to all the clubs, but Bahrain Toastmaster Club was the club who actually responded me immediately, and I liked the response. And then I had a word with DTM Khalid and DTM Faraz, and then immediately I told them that anyway, my decision is made. I'm going to join this club because I like the way the punctuality and response, immediate response. And then I attended one guest meeting. It was very good. Then I attended this Gold is the Old is Gold series. That was excellent. And anyway, my decision was made, so I become a Toastmaster. Definitely, I look forward to increase my English as well as my leadership skills. I look forward for a physical meeting as well. Till the time I will attend all the online meetings as well. So my expectations are very simple. What you are offering, and that is the reason I'm here. And this club is very diverse and vibrant. I love the clubs which are vibrant. I was a Talking Matter member in Qatar, which was a vibrant club, and members were from all the nationality, and that makes the club special. You learn from different culture. You learn from different people. You learn from a different aspect of life. And of course, in return, we learn English and public speaking, leadership skill. So in short, I found this club very innovative. Only one meeting, that is also good, because of work pressure and all that, you cannot attend 2 meetings, 3 meetings, or 4 meetings. And one meeting is good. I found that because of that, the number of speakers are also 4. That is also very good. If the meeting is more frequent, then finding a speaker is also difficult, but that is also good. In a way, it fits into my expectations, and I'm so glad that DTM Faraz accepted to be my mentor. That's my dream. I was just hoping back of mind, okay, if this happens, that will be great. So, and my wish came true. I don't know, it may be telepathy, and DTM Faraz accepted me as his student. So great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening ahead. Bye.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Deepak. And indeed, rest assured of the full support of your mentor, DTM Faraz Farouk, as well as rest assured of all Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters Club members' support at any time. So now, without any further delay, I give the floor back to the president to pin the new member, even virtually. Back to you, club president DTM Khalid. Please, again, another big round of applause.
Thank you so much. Yes, exactly. Indeed. Thank you so much, DTM Said Abbas, and welcome not just to the world of self-discovery, but welcome to the world of Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club, Toastmaster Deepak. Thank you so much for joining our club. What a lovely as well address of those 2 minutes. I think it was a little bit longer than 2 minutes, but I think it's a really good membership campaign that he just said. Thank you so much. Great. So let's just continue on where we are right now, and let's move on to the Vice President of Education. I think we did I cover everything?
We covered the first point.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. Let me just go back then. Yes, please. Floor is yours.
Yes, welcome back again, Mr. President and club members. The second point is to keep on inviting targets Toastmasters and other non-Toastmasters to that club. And I'm sure attendees, especially gold is all this gold is very high, and we are expecting more members, as well as during this meeting we are targeting the new members. Please, guests, come forward. I'm a very well-known figure. My number is not hidden. If you know it, that's fair and fine. If you don't, just write it down: 396 11 522, and I will do the rest. Yes, I would really thanks all the members, and especially our Vice President Education, DTM Faraz Farouk, and of course the rest, for such initiatives. All is gold, and we are trying to utilize these sessions to increase our members. We will do this till the end of the term and beyond. With this, I would hand the control back to our club president. Back to you, DTM Khalid.
Thank you so much, DTM Said Abbas, for your report. Let's move on to our Vice President of Education, DTM Farhaz Farouk.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Dear Toastmasters, first and foremost, welcome to BAT Toastmaster Deepak. It's a deep honor and pleasure to have you as part of our family. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just come out of a very successful joint meeting last week with Fusion Inspired Toastmasters Club of Malaysia. That was a super experience with over 100 attendees. It was overwhelming, to tell you the truth, and I think I was quite enjoying the experience. Great learning we had from DTM Mohammed Chukri and Toastmaster Tammy, as well as the Toastmaster, what was his name, Kish. Superb learning we had. So great work, and thank you everybody who supported for that. We are looking forward to organizing 1 or 2 more of these joint meetings. Stay tuned. We will work on them and we will enjoy and learn together. Coming to our DCPs, we are sitting quite pretty as far as the education DCPs are concerned. We have already got 4 of them under the belt, and the other 2 are halfway done. What we are lacking currently is we need 2 more level 1s, for which we have targeted Toastmaster Vidad and Toastmaster Pitambaran. Both of them were supposed to be here today and present, but unfortunately duty calls, and at BAT we always value priorities of people first, and when duty calls they have to definitely go and answer that. This can wait. We need to get 1 more level 2, and for that Toastmaster Pitambaran is well on his way, and he has promised he would give us his level 2. I expect both of these to be done sometime by April or May. Certainly in April, the 2 level 1s, and in the May meeting, we will be able to get through and finish off the level 2. So with that, the 6 DCPs from education will be done. Having said that, we don't want to just leave it as it is. Next year's committee should thank us, not curse us. So quietly, we are building up some reserves of potential education goals, which the next year's committee can take over when they take on office. That we are building up. We will obviously announce that in the last meeting of our term. And hopefully we will leave them not empty pocket. We will leave them with a lot of things to stand on. Mr. President, thank you so much for all your support. The EXCO, thank you for all your support. Dear members, thank you for all the support. And I'd like to thank all the guests for their support. Looking forward to seeing more of this as we go along. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, DTM Farhaz, and all of the EXCOM. I think you are doing a marvelous job, and we can see this as well during such difficult times. Is there any other business before we close the business session and move on to the next segment? Yes, DTM Ali, our immediate past Region 11 advisor, you're muted.
Yes, Mr. President, I have a motion, or more like a suggestion, if you may allow.
Yeah, please.
I was thinking of an idea where after every meeting, 15 minutes, not a mandatory one, we can open some breakout rooms for all the mentors. So for example, I'm a mentor. I can head a breakout room and all my mentees from the club can join just for 15 minutes to have a casual chat once a month on their progress. So starting today, if you can put me in a breakout room sharp at 7 to 7:15 to catch up with my mentees in the club. I just want to know their status, not a mandatory one. I will be there 15 minutes. If someone wants to join, it's up to you. And likewise, I move a motion that we can have a mentee session once a month for 15 minutes. Anyone wants to second that?
Yeah, please. Thank you so much, DTM Ali. I think it's really a great. Yes, DTM said Abbas.
Yes, I believe the idea is great. I seconded the motion.
Great. So we have a motion on the floor that was seconded. Is there anyone opposing that? Okay, I don't think there was really anyone. So let me hear from everyone. Those who are in favor of the motion, can I see thumbs up? Thumbs up from the members? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Yeah, I think we have the majority thumbs up. So that's great. So the motion gets adopted. Thank you so much, DTM Ali, for lovely motion. I think that's a lovely suggestion. Thank you. Brilliant. So let's close the business session with this. And now, oh yeah, I hand over the control to someone that I would ask him to speed up because we are late by 8 minutes. He's none other than me. Thank you so much, Mr. President. And thank you so much. Let me just say what the Master of Ceremonies role is. The Master of Ceremonies role is to maintain time, to try to start to finish on time. So this is my role. And as you can see, we are a little bit late behind. Let me acknowledge first all of the guests here. We would definitely like to hear from you later on, but for the sake of, because you are here, we have Area 16 Director, Toastmaster KM Thomas. I still call him DTM in his invitation, but until that happens, he would be DTM KM Thomas. We have also DTM Akhlaq Abbasi in here. We have Toastmaster Jenny is here. I thought Toastmaster Anush is here. DTM Ahmed Shukri is here. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We would love to hear from you toward the end of the meeting. We do apologize for not having you to introduce yourself formally, but because of the time limitation that we have right now.
I can see Toastmaster Guraz as well.
Ah, that's I missed. I usually see his smile. He's hiding his smile behind the camera, but that's fine. So thank you so much as well, DTM Guraz, for being here with us today. Mothers, mothers, and mothers. The theme today for today's meeting is Mother's Day. A mother is she who can take the place of all others, but whose place no one else can take. By Anne Jack, something by Anne Jack. That's really indeed an honor to have the theme today to reflect the Mother's Day and to celebrate the Mother's Day. All of us have that. See, when I talk about mothers, I can't even express the right wording about mothers. We have all of the gratitudes to our mothers, to all of what they did to us. I am here today because of all of what my mother did. I am the person who is now being the elite, a president for such an elite club. And I'm sure all of you as well adore your moms. And for this, I would ask each and every role player, before you introduce your role, just say one word to describe your mother. And to make it challenging, we'll try to use different word every time we call someone. How about that? Great. Let me first call on, wow, this is a great member to call, our general evaluator to introduce his role. DTM Ahmed Rizvi, are you there? He is there, but I can Yes, he's here. Please help me welcome our general evaluator, DTM Ahmed Rizvi. And DTM Ahmed Rizvi, before you introduce your role, give me one word to describe your mom. Just one word.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, fellow Toastmasters, and most distinguished guests. Good afternoon to you all. It's a pleasure being the general evaluator for an important meeting of Mother's Day with the team. And yes, this has been a very emotional aspect in my life when I lost my mother for cancer. And it was very unfortunate that I was not very close to her at the particular time when it was needed. Very sad moment, I think. Nevertheless, mothers are the most important human beings in the world. So today, being a Mother's Day team meeting, I'm really proud that we all have joined to this meeting. And my role as the general evaluator today is going to be to monitor the entire meeting, along with the support of the assignees like timer, our counter, grammarian, and with the individual evaluators. I will submit my constructive feedback at the end of the meeting. Over to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you so much, DTM Ahmed Rizvi, for sharing your thought and for introducing your role properly. I really like this gentleman. He still reminds us of the physical meeting that we need to stand whenever we introduce our role. So let's copy that. Let's copy this leader, DTM Ahmed Rizvi, and as much as we can stand when we are giving our role. Yes, I have to be the role model as well, but for the time being, let me skip this for now. Let's move on to the next role player, who is our grammarian. And what can I say about our grammarian? Toastmaster Daisy. I heard her role in AIM Toastmaster Club, and I said, Toastmaster Daisy, you have to be the grammarian for Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club, and she immediately accepted. Thank you so much, DTM Toastmaster Daisy, for accepting, and please help me welcome Toastmaster Daisy to introduce her role and one word to describe your mom.
One word to describe my mom, I can say, I will use the word of the day. It's awe-inspiring. Okay. So as your grammarian this afternoon, I have two roles. The first one is to listen to all the speakers and note down of their excellent use of language, and also those which are, I can say, grammatically incorrect. And the second role is to introduce the word of the day, which I mentioned a while ago. Our word of the day is awe-inspiring. It is an adjective or describing word, which means amazing or extraordinary. So our sentence example for today is, mothers are awe-inspiring because they do a lot of sacrifices for their family. So I will give my report when I'm called upon during the meeting, and back to you, DTM Khalid.
Wow. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Daisy. What an awe-inspiring role description and a use of word as well. If you say, I think I should have been more creative with the grammarian, right? She would definitely just jump into the word of the day. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Daisy. Let us move on also to introduce another important role. And what can I say about this member as well? She is really new member at Toastmaster, but she is impressing me every time she asks a question. And it's very important to ask questions. Toastmaster Nadia, would you mind introducing your role as an counter and one word to describe your mom? Please help me welcome Toastmaster Nadia.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nadia. I'm a guest from Diad's Toastmasters Club. One word I'd use to describe my mother would be eternal. But let's move on to the roles and responsibilities of the counter. My responsibility will be to keep track of words and sounds used as crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks during the meeting. The use of inappropriate interjections such as and, well, but, so, like, you know, as well as sounds like and I will note any uses of such crutch or filler words mentioned. Back to you, President. DTM Khalid.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nadia. What an awe-inspiring. Now I can use the word as much as I can. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nadia, for the introduction of your role. Let's move on as well now to the timer, the newest member in the town. Toastmaster Deepak, one word to describe your mom and introduce your role. Help me welcome Toastmaster Deepak.
Thank you. Thank you, DTM Khalid. Caring is the one word I would like to describe my mother. In fact, she taught me punctuality, and she always used to tell me that you should not spend the time but invest it. And I'm glad that today I'm doing a timer role. So all the speeches are 5 to 7 minute speeches. When 5 minutes are done, I will change my background to green, and 5 minutes, 6 minutes yellow, and 7 minutes red. So that is I decided. So hopefully it will work that way. So this will be my background. So this is new innovation I did. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepak, for the lovely introduction. I really like how the way you are doing it. You're being creative as well and using the word of your mom and to describe your role. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepak. Great. Now is the time to hear from our speakers. Now it's the education session, and I would like to request just one tiny request. I know we are in virtual setup. I know it's a little bit, I don't know, someone of us right now is doing something else, maybe in the kitchen, maybe somewhere else. But for those who can switch their camera on, please, if you can switch on your camera, please, let's have that, because now on a virtual platform, we need to have the speakers feel that they are in a real stage. And this is what we want to have. So if you can switch on your camera, please do. If you are still in the kitchen, you still can stay in the kitchen, but please have something for us from whatever food you are cooking. Okay, now I can feel that those who are not switching their camera, they are in the kitchen. What do you do there in the kitchen, DTM Ahmed Shukri? Okay, I'm just picking on you, DTM Ahmed. Thank you so much for all of you who switched on their camera, and please, if others can, please do. And let's enjoy now the awe-inspiring speakers for today's meeting. And for the first awe-inspiring speaker is Toastmaster Rinku Naren. And before I call on Toastmaster Rinku Naren to give her a speech, let me call on her evaluator, DTM Zahra Al-Mukharrag. DTM Zahra Al-Mukharrag, one word to describe your mom, and then the objective of our honorable speaker. Please help me welcome DTM Zahra Al-Mukharrag.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony DTM Khalid. Yeah, the one word will be my role model. And today I will be evaluating the speech delivered by Toastmaster Rinku. Today she will deliver her second speech from the Evaluation and Feedback Project. And the objectives of her speech is that the purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech to any topic, on any topic, receive a feedback and apply the feedback to the second speech. And the purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate that she applied the feedback received from her first evaluator. Wish you all the best, and please do not forget to pin the timer and use the word of the day. Back to you, Master of Ceremony.
Thank you so much, DTM Zahra, for introducing the objective of our speaker. Now is the time to hear from our first speaker. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Rinku Naren with the speech title, Aromas of My Childhood. Aromas of My Childhood, Toastmaster Rinku Naren. Please remember to pin the timer. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Before I start, am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are audible.
Chai or tea, that refreshing cup of beverage for many of us, but to me, it's more than just a cup of tea. It's a cup that holds so many of my childhood memories in it. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. If I have to go back to my happiest memory, it has to be from my childhood. And somewhere there, tea holds a very special place. When I want to go back there, all I have to do is close my eyes and I'm instantly transported to my maternal grandmother's home, a home where I spent a large part of my childhood. When I do go back, I remember the early morning rays of the sun gently streaming in through the grilled windows of the veranda and dancing on my face gently, softly caressing it with its golden light and warm love. I always remember waking up to the scent of wet earth while the little garden outside was watered by the house help. And to add to this heavenly fragrance and aroma was the aroma of cha or tea being made by my grandmother, where she would boil the water in an aluminium kettle placed over kerosene stove, and she would throw in some sauve or fennel seeds to it. As the water boiled, the whole house, the whole home was filled with the lovely aroma of the fennel seed, and it wafted through the kitchen into the hall where I slept, and it tickled my nostrils. She had a special way of making tea. While she boiled the water, she placed the tea leaves in another vessel, and once the water was boiled, she poured it from a height so that the tea leaves stirred well, and she allowed the tea leaves to steepen. While that happened, she quickly heated some milk, sweetened it with some sugar, and then poured the decoction into it. And that is how she made the perfect tea. Once this was done, she would wake up my sister and I, gently calling us out. And when I heard the clink of her saucers and cups, I knew it was time to wake up. My grandmother, who was also called Mata or mother, was a Punjabi woman from North India. She was heavy set, and arthritis had reduced her mobility. And she would still carry these cups of tea gingerly into the hall where we slept. The moment we saw her, my sister and I would jump out of bed, and just with rinsing our mouths, we were allowed to do that back then. We would just sit down to have our cups of hot tea, most of the times with some biscuits dunked into it. While we enjoyed sitting together in a circle, sipping on tea, I was also eager to rush out into the garden. And I did that. We would run into the garden, ask the house help to hand over the water hose, and I just loved watering the plants. The smell of wet earth, just seeing all the leaves bathed in water, the gentle spray of water on my face. Oh my God, it was heaven. I felt as if my soul was drenched with this magic. Shah somehow seemed to be the center of everything that happened around us. Saturday afternoons were very special in that sense. My mother and her siblings, that is my uncles, would troop into my grandmother's house around 3:34 in the afternoon, and whoever came in first would first request my grandmother or Mata to make tea. While tea was being prepared, the kettle was set up. Someone would bring in pakoras or vegetable fritters. Now, while we as children saw these big parcels of fritters being opened, I would get so hungry because I knew what they tasted like. Now, we all sat down, gathered around, and my maternal family were a family of singers. So while chai and pakoras were being served, everybody just broke out into some song, either a Punjabi song or a Hindi song. And a dining table would be turned into a tabla, a percussion instrument. And the rest of us would just join as chorus and clap our hands. As kids, my sister and I would be wide eyed and awe inspired at how wonderfully everybody sang and how could they remember all the tunes and words so well. And there was this sense of oneness, of connectedness, of being a family. Years later, when Mata was too old to live by herself, she came and lived with us. And very often we had our uncles visiting us. And cha was something that we had to make. Though we tried using the same method that she tried, it was never the same. And I suspect it's because we made it on a gas stove and not on a kerosene stove. But around those cups of tea, everyone shared what happened in their lives. Old memories were shared, old stories were shared, and we heard stories of people who we didn't know. And again, there was laughter, there was that sense of being a family. Today, my mother makes heavenly tea. And at 5 p.m., when she boils the waters and throws those fennel seeds, and that familiar fragrance of fennel water wafts through the kitchen, for that one moment, I go back to my Mata's house. And there is this shared love for cha and a connectedness that I cannot explain. Over the years, cha has become an important part of my life, and I've seen so much happening over cups of chai, whether it's family gatherings, cousins gossiping, or friend sharing her story with me, or vice versa. Cha is comfort to me and to so many people I know. And I'm so happy that my aromas of my childhood have been made special, and cha has kept those memories alive for me. Oh, I would do anything to go back to that world, to go back to my childhood and to that time. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rinku, for such a lovely speech. And I honestly tasted the tea taste in your speech. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rinku, for the lovely speech. Thank you so much. Yes, you deserve another round of applause. Wonderful speech. Thank you so much. Great. Let's move on to the next speaker, who is Toastmaster Gina John, Dr. Gina. Yes, she is here. And to evaluate Dr. Gina, let's hear from her evaluator. And he is none other than me. Thank you so much, Master of Ceremonies. Yeah, this is exactly Toastmasters wearing many hats. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of Ceremonies. And the purpose of Toastmaster Gina's speech. Purpose of the project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback. Apologize, I'm reading the other one, sorry. This is the second speech of Toastmaster Gina. She attempted the first speech in project number 2. She was given feedback, and today she wants to apply the feedback on her second speech. The feedback that she had, summarizing it, was on body language and on use of the stage. So that was the feedback that was given by Toastmaster Gina. Toastmaster, for the timer, note that the time would be 5 to 7 minutes. I wish you all the best, Dr. Gina, and over to me.
Okay.
So let me introduce you, Toastmaster Gina. And I would remind you to pin the timer if you don't mind. I think I missed to ask Toastmaster Rinku as well about the one word of her mom, but I will get back to you, Toastmaster Rinku. But since I still have Toastmaster Gina here, before I formally introduce you and miss it as well, Toastmaster Gina, one word to describe your mom.
What it is, Khaled? I didn't get you.
I just need to hear one word for you to describe your mom.
Oh, okay. Khaled, to describe my mom, one word is not enough. Okay, because I will tell you frankly, to reach till here or to be in this particular place, my mother is the only person who drived me till here, because she is the one who supported me in all my stages of my life, when I was happy, when I was sad, when I was broke, in all my stages, she actually holded my hand very tight. Okay, and the biggest message she told me is to bring a good hope in God. You know, she taught me to be very faithful to God in every time of my life. Okay, so she is the sole person who actually gave me strength, gave me life, gave me confidence. If my mother was not there with me, I would definitely not have been sitting in front of you and speaking.
I ran out of word, Toastmaster Gina. Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah, I ran out of word. Thank you so much for the lovely response to the question. And now let me introduce you. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Gina John with the speech title, Choose the Best. Choose the Best, Toastmaster Gina John. Floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Khalid. Before I am starting, I will tell you I made a setup of sitting here, body posture very difficult because the speaker is connected to me. So movement slightly difficult will be there. Okay, but I am going to start my speech. Thank you, Toastmaster Khalid, for giving me this opportunity to speak. My title is to choose the best. As I told you before, we went through different situations, but choosing a rightful decision at a certain point of time is really very challenging. I will take you through 3 different situations. One, there is movies in Netflix, I think it is in Netflix or Amazon. You might see a movie named as Dangerous Illusion. In the Dangerous Illusion, there is a character known as Mary. Mary is a novel writer. You know, she's a writer, but she is having the problem of a writer's block. Because if suppose she is writing a novel, she will get converted into that particular character. And moreover, she needs a particular person to take care of her kids. So she will be in a mental state of writing a particular movie. Stage, she got an offer from a publisher to write a novel, but she refused it because she didn't want to turn into another personality. She was forced to write a novel because her husband went into gambling and lost half of their wealth. Then she started to write the novel. She accepted the publisher offer. She started to write the novel. At that time, she went and approached a manpower who can take care of her child. So in the very consecutive day, a lady named as Grace came in front of her house, impressed her marvelously, and she was able to capture a position in Mary's house. Mary and Grace became friends. That friendship doesn't stay in one level. It took into a higher pace where the relationship was very unpleasant. It was not acceptable to the family. In the friend of her, in the eyes of Mary's friend Elena, their relationship was unacceptable, and there were numerous questions Elena has popped out. At the end of the movie, you can see Mary finished her novel. Grace was named as a personality disorder. Elena, the Mary of friend of Mary, have died. So, as a viewer or as a person seeing the movie, 3 questions came in my mind: who killed Elena? Or why did Mary choose Grace to be her friend, and why did she take into another level? Third one, who is the actual person having the mental disorder or personality disorder? You know, these questions are unanswerable. So what happened? The reviewer's opinion went down. This is how the choice when we take in a decision making us go up or we come down. Now, let me take a next situation. I don't know how many of you have read this book, The Beautiful Boy. This is actually a reality story that happened in US, where this is written by David Schaff. He has 3 children, and his elder son was addicted to drugs from the age of 12. David has approached the teachers, counselors, many multiple meetings he has been gone to understand the reason why his son went into drugs. People told him, you don't care for your son. It is not your choice. You cannot control it. So David didn't give up that hope of saving his son. David found out the research on what is the reason the children are going into drug addicts. Do you know, in one day, nearly to 300 to 600 children in US are coming under drug addicts. What is the reason? Stress. They are not being come forward in their life. They feel unsteady. But when David has given a small article in the New York Times concerning his situation of his son, multiple responses came to him saying that what is the solution. David said only one thing: the family dinner, homework with your children is the only plot that you can open up communication with your child. With more of hope, support, control, David was able to bring his child from drug addicts. You know, it was an eye-opener for me. It is an eye-opening situation for me. On February 2021, 9th of February 2021, I was shocked to see a person in front of my door bringing a gift box saying that, ma'am, this gift is for you. You know, I thought my child is very innocent. She made up a fake account and then she made an online order by spending the money from my ATM card without my knowledge. You know, it's a dangerous illusion popped up in my mind because every second cybercrime is taking place. What could have happened to my child? This was a dangerous illusion that popped up in my mind. Then I realized there is no platform for emotional drama to take place here. Just like David, I tried to control my emotion, supported my child, confronted her, been with her, consoled her. The steps of David I followed, and I realized this is the way how I can make my child realize to choose the best option in her life. As a speaker, I tell to you, life is a web of communication. Life is a web of interaction. Choose your tool of speaking with your children so that they will follow us. A problem in our family, it is only collapsing us. But if we make the best choice, these diseases will go away and we can save ourselves. Thank you, and back to the Toastmaster Kai.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Gina. What an energetic speech. Thank you so much. I feel like I'm going with my evaluation just for now, but I will keep it later. Thank you so much, Dr. Gina, for such an inspiring speech. Thank you so much. Great. So before I move on to the next speaker who is eager as with waiting, I feel guilty not to go back to Toastmaster Rinku and ask her one word to describe her mom. Toastmaster Rinku.
One word would be strength.
Strength. Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rinku. Now it's getting difficult for those who are coming next, because now I think whoever would be next would run out of words. But I know who is coming next is definitely not running out of words. And to introduce the next speaker, Sayyid Hazem Al-Alawi, who came here today to deliver a speech that he did in BTAC Kuwait 11 years ago. And he did not want to repeat it. He is coming here today just to give it as a gift to DTM Sayyid Abbas Al-Alawi. Do I see him? Yes, he's not sitting in his place, but I'm sure he is hearing us.
Maybe in kitchen now, Sayyid Abbas.
Maybe he moved to the kitchen to have something, yes. Great, so before I introduce the speaker, let me introduce his evaluator. His evaluator is none other than our Vice President of Education, DTM Farhaz Farouk. DTM Farhaz Farouk please, one word to describe your mom and then the objective of our speaker. Please help me welcome DTM Haz Farouk.
Thank you, sir. Can I have 4 words, please?
No, one word. I know you Toastmasters will take longer time. Just one word.
I'll still take 4 words.
Okay, go ahead.
Describe my roof of my heaven.
Mic drop.
Mr. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, our speaker is attempting an international speech. The project objectives are simple. He's got to inspire us. He's got to persuade us. He's got to make us get up and go and do something about whatever he says. I will be evaluating this as if I'm evaluating a contest speech and as if I'm an evaluation speech contestant. And I look forward to hearing this speaker speak for the first time. He sent me his YouTube links, but I said, no way. I want to see you first live and I'll give you my feedback. Toastmaster Hazim, I wish you all the very best. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much, DTM Farhaz. And now, this is the awaited moment. We have our next speaker, and before I call him formally, the regular request. Toastmaster Said Hazem, would you mind saying one word to describe your mom? I feel my internet is playing some tricks on me. Am I audible now?
We can hear you. We can't see you, but that's okay. We
Okay.
we wanted to see you.
You are a freeze. You are a freeze.
Okay, I'm frozen. Fine. So, Toastmaster Said Hazem, would you want to say one word to describe your mom, please?
Can you ask me this question after my speech, please?
Okay, so there is some relation. Okay, fine. So let me then introduce our next speaker. Is Toastmaster Said Hamza Al-Alawi with the speech title, A Heart Made of Marshmallows. A heart made of marshmallows. Toastmaster Said Hazem, please remember to pin the timer and close yours. Please, Toastmaster Said.
Punishment is something that my generation grew up with ever since the tender age of 5. Do you remember how naughty we used to be? Breaking this, shaking that, dribbling with balls, writing on the walls. Literally, our job description was to drive our parents crazy. And for them to control this behavior, they came up with classical methods of punishment. Go sit on the naughty chair. No marshmallows for a week. And the one I hated the most, go to your room, close the door, and be quiet. I hated sitting on the side of my bed, crying for hours and hours, and could not wait for my mother to come. Here, have a marshmallow. Go on and play now. Master of ceremonies, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests, do you agree with me that our behavior as children affects our parents, especially mothers? How can it not, when we can see the clear effects as we enter the troublesome years of our teenage? Because when you are a teenager, you want to be nowhere near your mother. She wants to dress you up like a true gentleman. You want to have torn jeans, have tattoos and piercings. She wants you to sit with the nerds at the library. You want to hang out with guys that smoke, drink, and have a very impressive criminal record. And that's where all the interference starts. Hazem Mama, did you do your homework today? Hazem Mama, please focus on your studies. Hazem Mama, if you don't listen to me and you keep ignoring me, you are never going to get to the top of your class. Well, Mom, Craig Valentine once said that sometimes you have to ignore your parents to get to the top. And it just does not stop there. It gets carried forward, this interference, to your 20s, to your 30s, and even to your 40s. I'm almost 40 years old, and my mother just does not stop interfering with my life. She calls me 1,000,000 times a day for worthless things. And I don't know who on earth gave my mother a Facebook account. She went on my wall, and that's like where everybody could see what's on. And she wrote, "Hazem, Mama, you forgot the toilet syrup again." Mom, it's not helping. I'm still single. And it's the repetition of such interference that eventually gets to you. And I remember one particularly bad day. And usually those start with you waking up very late to an early morning meeting at work, and you're racing your car through traffic. And theory says that if you're late, all the traffic lights are red. But in reality, all the traffic lights are red and your car runs low on fuel. And then you discover you've got a stain on your tie, and in the midst of all this mess, your mother just does not stop calling you. So what would you do? I would immediately hit that silent button. Now, had that been your boss calling, or maybe DTM Khalid, or perhaps your girlfriend, no, you'd park to the side and chit-chat nicely. But mother, no, silent. Eventually, I reach work and I'm rushing through the corridors. I run into my boss. I fake a smile. "Where have you been? Go get the papers." I rush back to my desk and I reach to my drawers. But I cannot open my drawers because I forgot my keys at home. Disasters always come in clusters. After this long and hideous day, I finally get home, and all I want to do is just hit that bed and sleep. So I sneak in, trying not to wake anybody up. And out of nowhere, my mother appears with a half asleep face. I said, "Mama, where have you been? I called you." "Mom, stop it. It's enough. Stop interfering with my life. I have had it." And in the middle of this very civilized argument, she cries. So what would you do? I turn the other way and move upstairs to my room. And on the way, I'll get all these bad ideas playing with my brain. Just because she cried, it doesn't mean she's right. This fight is not over yet. I'm gonna. But it's not worth it. Besides, it's all going to be okay tomorrow. But what we don't know is that if we go back, we are going to see her sitting on the side of her bed, drowning in her own tears. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to tell you to love your mothers. You already do. I'm not here to ask you to send them flowers. They don't want you to. I'm here to simply request you to spare a few moments, just a few moments of every day, to show them that deep inside you, you're still that 5-year-old kid with a heart made of marshmallows. Because all what they want is to take care of you. Even if they're wrong, even if they are wrong, they have earned the right to be wrong. And we have been wrong most of our lives. And all they did was bring us back on track. They're not going to be with us forever, you see. So if you are lucky enough to have them by your side, what would you do? Would you punish them? Or would you cherish them? And the next time your mother calls, please answer the phone. She could be telling you that you forgot your keys at home. Back to you, Master of Ceremony.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hazem, for such a justified answer. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hazem. Yes, I would remember to pick up the phone when my mom calls, because sometimes I do. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hazem. Great, 3 speakers, and unfortunately, I don't see our 4th speaker. Or let me just call on the Vice President of Education just to confirm. ETM Farhaz, no messages.
No, Mr. President, unfortunately, there are no messages. So I would assume that he is not able to make it and he's still in Saudi Arabia. So I propose that we not take this speech off the agenda. Just one minor change.
Great. So thank you so much, ETM Farhaz. This is, let's call it also a motion to take off the 4th speaker because he's not able to speak. May I request someone to second that, please, from members? Yes, DTM Ali, you're muted.
Yes, I second, Mr. President, that we move ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so much, DTM Ali Shahbaz. Great. So let's move on to the next segment of today's meeting. And before I move on, I like this quote when I found it there when I was looking for something to fill in the gap. It says, life doesn't come with a manual. It comes with a mother. How true it is, right? Without our mom, we wouldn't be able to even do the basic things that we have been doing all over our life. Kudos to all mothers in the house and outside. Let's move on to the next segment of today's meeting. And the next segment is the most interesting segment of all table topics. And let me tell you, I've been hearing his topics, I've been hearing how he prepares as well for table topics, and amazing, awe-inspiring is 2 things that I would add to the gentleman that we are about to introduce. Please help me welcome DTM Shivdaz Nair, our table topic master, DTM Shivdaz Nair.
Thank you, Toastmasters
DTM
Day.
Shivdaz, one word.
Yeah.
One word to describe your mom. Don't forget one word to describe.
Mom is like the God, which for me, she is everything. Because without her, I couldn't have come on this planet Earth. So she is the creator and taking me forward. That's what I would say about mom. Okay, so let's move forward. After hearing the mind-boggling speeches from all our Toastmasters who have created a place in our mind to how to present, how to speak, and the titles which they have taken has opened our mind in many ways. So, fellow Toastmasters, let's begin the table topic session. Don't hide your face or anything, keep it open, nothing to hide. It's very simple. We'll keep it. If I ask all these topics to DTM Farhaz, he will be very happy to answer all of it. But I'm not going to ask DTM Farhaz. He's the champion of our club. So I'm not going to ask DTM Farhaz. So if we are keeping your camera off, that indicates you are scared or something. Don't keep your camera off. Keep it on and get ready. And I'm sure impromptu speaking in Toastmasters is a long-standing tradition intended to help members to develop their ability to organize their thoughts quickly and respond to impromptu topics or questions, whatever it may be. So I have made it very simple. There is only one word I'm going to give you. Just you have to correlate, can be with your mother, the lady in your life, the Toastmasters around you, anything you can correlate and speak on it. So to select that one, I have done something which I think if I call one by one, I will be doing injustice to some. So I have created on the spin wheel. I will ask, can I share the screen?
Yes, yes, everyone can share. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can see the screen, but the wheel is a little bit hidden. So can you go a little bit to the, go up a little bit? I don't know if it is only for me or everyone.
Take it up.
Okay, we got the winner.
Before I can do anything, it is, see, this is system driven. I cannot. Okay. DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali. The word for you is tolerance.
Okay, Mr. Table Topic Master, I believe I have to speak on the word itself.
Yeah, well, you can speak, you can relate it with your mother, you can relate with the ladies, because it should be something related with the ladies. Maybe your mother, can be your life partner, can be the Toastmasters, lady Toastmasters whom you feel that they are tolerant enough or something like that. So something with the ladies, related to ladies, because being the Mother's Day, our theme.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters and friends. Tolerance is a great word. It's easier said than done. Whenever I think of the word tolerance, or since it has come on the screen now, and I have the choice to speak about any lady figure in my life, again, the height of tolerance, nobody can have better than anybody's mother. So same goes with my mother as well. Looking at us, not just as boys, girls, men and women, we all have our days where people cannot tolerate us, especially Toastmasters, especially if we have funny virtual backgrounds. Not everybody can tolerate. So when I talk about my mother, she's no different than anybody's mother, but I will take this opportunity to speak about tolerance. I have been very curious at times. I have been very stubborn at times. I have been a brat, and that part will never ever stop. And all this can be only tolerated by my mother, the one person I can rely on. The beauty here is when we talk about motherhood, that's just like somebody said today earlier, that they have this job of a washing machine. We make our clothes dirty. They take all the clothes, they put it in the washing machine, they wash it, regardless of is the soap the best in the market or not. But it's their passion, it's their routine to keep washing us. Clothes is just an example. But they want to wash our characters till the time we are together on earth. They take all our good and the bad and the ugly, dump it somewhere to make us the better versions of ourselves. So that one person who is having that height of tolerance in my life is definitely my mom. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali. So let's move. We will see the next who is going to come.
Your screen is not shared, DTM Shahbaz.
Sorry.
Someone is already there in the screen.
Is the screen gone? Guras Wankadia.
Yes.
Guras is there?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes, left.
He is there, DTM Shahbaz.
Okay.
I said unfortunately I'm here.
Okay. The word for you is modesty. The word for you is modesty. You can relate it to your mother, your life partner, or Toastmasters, anything. But a lady, to be related to a lady.
Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. Good evening. Modesty. How do I describe modesty with reference to any lady in my life? I would say it's Mother's Day, so I should talk about mother, but what immediately comes to my mind right now is I just finished my afternoon cup of tea, so I want to talk about that. My wife never drinks tea, ever. She hasn't had tea ever in her life. And I'm a crazy tea addict. I can live on tea. If there's no food, I don't mind, but I need tea all the time. And tea, as you know, is something that is very specific to people. Some people have it with sugar, without sugar, with milk, without milk, less water, more spices, ginger. So the kind of tea that I like is very specific. And for years and years, for about 2 decades, my wife has always made tea for me exactly the way I like it, to the extent that even I can't make it that way. Even I don't know how to make it in a way that I love to have. But my wife makes it for me. And since she doesn't drink tea, she cannot know how good it or bad it is. She cannot taste it. She doesn't drink tea. My definition of modesty is this, to be able to do something for someone you love and care for, without being able to understand whether it is up to the mark or not. That's modesty, in my opinion. Back to you, Mr. Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmasters Guras. So
Thank you.
Toastmaster Anil Pachlangia. Is he here or left?
I think he's not. I couldn't see him.
He was
but
there
yeah, he's
before.
okay. He's not here.
Okay. KM Thomas. Is he here? Thomas. What happened? He left. He was here just before.
You scared them.
I think we will run out of people from the meeting. Whatever question you have for KM Thomas, I will take it, Shivdas.
Okay, just one minute. We'll try. Okay. Ahmad Shukri.
Ahmad is there?
Ahmad Shukri left. What is this? People just before starting, they were all there.
Steve, let's stop the table topics. People are escaping.
Okay, I will ask to Toastmaster Daisy. Toastmaster Daisy.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, the word for you is supportive.
Supportive. I want to use this word to describe my mom.
Anyone,
We are
anyone
five
in your life.
Yes,
Anyone
I
in
want
your
to
life.
describe this one. Used to describe my mom.
Yeah, okay.
My father was, when I was young, my father was a ship captain, but when he reached 40, he was very sick, he was very ill, and we are 5 in the family. We were studying then, so some of my siblings were in high school and others in college. And my mom, when my father got sick, took over the responsibilities of my father because my father could not work because he was sick. And then my mom was very hardworking and very supportive. I can say that if she was not a supportive mother, I don't believe that we have reached this far. So all of us, I can say, and I'm proud to say that we are what we are now because of my mom. And of course, my father was also there, being a support to her. But the wings really beyond, or the wings beneath our wings, was really my mom. She was a strong, and I can say very strong, hardworking, and very diligent and very supportive mother. So now that she is now 80 years old, with all those hardships in life, we have decided that since we are all professionals now in the family because of my mom. My mom was really a very supportive, and I can say the best mom in the world. And if ever I would be given a chance to choose another one in the next life, I would choose the same mom, because she is really beyond compare. She was always there for us when we were studying. We studied in a few kilometers, in the town when I was in high school. And even though she was a very busy person, she would always check if everything was okay, especially during our examination days. So I can say that my mom is, the number one, the best supportive human being I have known in this world. So back to you, TM Shivas.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we move forward. Now spin wheel. If I go to spin the wheel, again, people will disappear. So without spinning, let me ask Toastmaster Akhlaq Abbasi. Akhlaq Abbasi, can you switch on your microphone? Okay.
Good.
Your word is self-control. Self-control.
Self-control.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Tabletop Book Master. This wonderful word has been given to me, self-control. It can be linked with anyone, but today is a Mother Day. Let me connect it with my mother. I do remember the early days of my life when I left my village. Left my home for school without having my breakfast. And a small thing was coming in my mind that something was not, a requirement was not met, something. And anger was shown, and I went to the school, and after some time, I saw my mother. She reached there in my school, in the village school in those days, to give me the breakfast, which I did not, I was not able to get that. So that showed me like how caring my mother was, how she was connected with the family. So this is a beautiful relation. Was really, you have today's your topic has really give me connection with my mother. I was not able to do that, but she really made me realize that this was your mistake, my son. If you would have taken the breakfast. How caring my mother was. She reached there to the point to give me the breakfast and the school. So since that, I try to connect myself that I will not try to let down all the seniors. Today my mother is not there, but all those who have been putting and contributing by the success of my life, I will try to care for those people. So that's my feeling is. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akhlaq Abbasi. The next person is our own DTM Ratindranath. DTM Ratindranath.
Yes, sir. I am here.
Okay. The word is the word for you is workaholic.
Workaholic.
Yeah.
Mr. Table Topics Master, I don't know why Mr. President is laughing so much. When he heard the word workaholic, and associated with me. I would definitely ask him after the end of this meeting. But definitely, yes, I am a workaholic. Let me tell you in all seriousness, as I have been working from the age of 18 and a half years, and I am now, I don't want to say, 7 decades. Okay. So it's about more than 50 years since I've been working, and every day in the morning I get up at 6:30, go to work at 8 o'clock. That has been my one of the disciplines which my mother inculcated in me from a very early age. I am still doing that even till yesterday and today. Both days being holidays, still I went to the factory, still, but now the factory is my own business, so all the more reason for me to be there. But workaholic, it has to be, you have to be a workaholic. This is one of the biggest and the most important things which my mother taught me. She said, until and unless you work hard, you are not going to achieve anything. And this has been proven to me again and again and again by various people. One of the most recent ones is, in all modesty, I am trying to tell you, is a gentleman, a brother of mine, Khalid Abdullah. He works for Babco. I don't know where he gets the time to do so many things, attend so many meetings, and is like, I pity his wife and his family. Where does he get the time to spend with them? But he still says, no, I am spending time with them. The other person I get inspired by is Toastmaster Faraz Farooq. His time management, I have been asking him, please give a lecture on time management. How in heaven's sake are you working and doing so many things, and never ever have I ever missed a call? If I call him, he will definitely call back and answer my questions. This is the kind of people who are workaholics. Not only me, there are plenty of them. I have given you examples of only 2, including me. And I am in very august company, and I like it. I didn't pin the timer, so I hope I am in the Mr. Table Topics Master.
Well said, DTM Jatindranath. TMOD, still I have time. Can I ask?
I think you are 1 minute.
Okay.
On time.
The last one, the last and the final one. So I will ask. Okay, the last and final one is for Toastmaster Daisy. Daisy,
already, Daisy.
She has already given. Okay, so I will ask to Mohammed Vikaruddin. Mohammed Vikaruddin, the word for you is spirituality.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master, for this spirituality. My spirituality is to seek blessing from my mother. As you have specified, I have to use as a woman. So this spirituality, she always pray for me to be in a good health, to make happy myself, to take care of the family, and all about how they have performed from their life. The same thing they have given for me as a guidance, support, and innovative. Do things, something which can be facilitated to the others, not only for myself. This is what I would like to say. I will give you a classic example. Whenever in my family, anyone will come to my parents, they never deny it to anyone. Always they will give something for them to be beneficial, not from one way, other way around. Give some pray or give something which is valuable to them. Thank you, and back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, everyone. All the speakers did their best. It's not mandatory that the time limit which you have used is fully utilized, underutilized, overutilized, but the guts in you which made you to speak, and I'm sure it will help you to enhance your communication skills in times to come. Thank you very much, and back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, DTM Shibdaz. Wonderful session run by you, wonderful table topics commentators. What an awe-inspiring session. Thank you so much, DTM Shibdaz, Nair, and all of the commentators. Let's move on now to another exciting session for today as well, which is none other than the general evaluation. Let's see how we did so far and how we can take this meeting even better. Please help me welcome another and awe-inspiring backbone of Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club, DTM Ahmed Rizvi, our general evaluator. Floor is yours, DTM Ahmed Rizvi, and you are muted.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Abdullah, immediate past regional advisor, distinguished Toastmaster Ali Shabazz Ali, fellow officers and fellow Toastmasters and most distinguished guests. Good evening to you all. It's almost a time for us to know what we did best and what we could do still better from what we did from best. General evaluation is one of the most important aspects of the Toastmasters meetings, where we get constructive feedback, where you learn critical thinking, effective listening, and also speaking eloquently. And this is one area where you can get the advice from your evaluators and improve yourself. And therefore, evaluation becomes the most important part. And in Toastmasters, that is what has helped all of us to improve ourselves to become what we are today. So Mother's Day is the theme of the day. And with that theme, the meeting commenced, and Sergeant at Arms acting standby Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Faraz Farooq, introduced the president, who professionally took control of the meeting well on time and conducted very crisply the business session with a wonderful presidential address, very emotional, but at the same time, very apt to the theme of the day. And he carried on the segment of opening of the meeting very well. Your round of applause to the Sergeant at Arms as well as to the wonderful president who keeps up to the time when he takes control of the meeting. The officers' reports were very apt, very simple, and VP Education's report was very motivating and inspiring. I'm sure we will be able to achieve the goals, but we want to. And the induction of the new member was carried out very professionally. And I'm sure the new member who joined us today, Deepak, has taken a maiden role as well as the immediate, and he will be able to learn from us a lot. Without further ado, let me ask the time of the day for giving me the timing for the prepared speeches and for the table topic commentators, so that we will be able to move on to the evaluation and then for the balloting, etc. Can I have the timer to give me the timing for the prepared speeches and the table topic commentators, please?
Sure. Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed. All the prepared speaker and table topic speaker are qualified. Toastmaster Rinku, 6 minutes 10 seconds. Dr. Jeena, 7 minutes. Toastmaster Syed, 7 minutes. Toastmaster Ali, 2 minutes 9 seconds. TM Gurraj, 1 minute 45 seconds. TM Daisy, 2 minutes. Akhlaq, 1 minute 45 seconds. Ratender, 2 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmaster Mohammed, 1 minute 30 seconds. And this is my timing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Deepak. Thank you so much for keeping a very accurate record of timing. Now let me move on to the evaluation part of it. First evaluator to evaluate Toastmaster Rinku is the distinguished Toastmaster Zahra. Distinguished Toastmaster Zahra, can I have the evaluation for Rinku's speech, please?
My best dish, it might have a special smell, or it might be the perfume of my mother, aromas of my childhood. Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, good evening to you all. A wonderful speech delivered by a wonderful speaker. Today, she chose a very special topic and she grabbed all our attention because this topic is related to every single one of us. Today, Toastmaster Rinku delivered her speech, and it was the second speech from the evaluation. She needs to get the evaluation, then she needs to improve her speech according to the evaluation that she received. Today, I will evaluate your speech and I will divide the stage into two parts. First, the good points, then the points needs to be improved. Let me first start with the good points. Using a visual aid, the cup of tea or coffee in front of all of us. We were a bit not sure that if you will drink it, if you're ready or not, but yes, you grabbed our attention. Number two, the hand gestures when you were saying, the facial expression when you were saying that I closed my eyes, and lots of few words regarding to when the sun was rising, and you made us feel it the way how you explained it. Moreover, you explained when you were all around the table, you were singing, and even the way how you were sitting or the songs that you were using, although we were not aware of the specific song that you chose, but yes, we felt it. Moreover, the hand gesture regarding to, it made us feel that, yes, it's related to your speech. Moving to the points needs to be improved. I felt that, yes, you were standing in front of us, but it would be better to use the stage. For example, your grandmother's house, then you moved to the table, then another area. Another point, the vocal variety. I feel if you are delivering a story, you have to use the raising and falling intonations. Moreover, one of the points raised by the previous evaluator to engage the audience. You can use some of the questions. For example, I really wanted to go back to my childhood memories. How about you? Fellow Toastmaster, a wonderful speech delivered by a wonderful speaker. If you will use the stage, if you will use more of your vocal variety, of course, your hand gestures, facial expression, this will enable you to deliver a better speech, a better speech in the future. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thanks for that constructive evaluation, distinguished Toastmaster Zara. The second speaker was evaluated, Dr. Gina, was evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Abdullah, our president and our master of ceremonies today. May I invite distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Abdullah, it is all yours.
Thank you so much, our general evaluator. Good evening, everyone. Toastmaster Gina, what an awe-inspiring speech that you just delivered today. Let me tell you, first of all, your strength, the strong points in your speech. First thing is the eminent energy. We felt you, the energy was there throughout the speech, so well done for that. You started saying 3 stories or 3 points, so that was the structure of your speech right from the beginning. So we knew that we were talking about 3 things. I discovered something in you every day, and today I discovered that you are a great storyteller. So well done for being that and continue being that. What I liked as well, the facial expressions. Although one of your points of improvement was the stage, which we are not talking about. The second one is the body language. And I think you really made it today with your facial expression, with the hand gestures all around. That was brilliant. So I give you 100% on that. The distraction, I noticed your daughter came in, but honestly speaking, if it was me, I would have been distracted by her, but you were there so much focused, and the eye contact. This is something that we miss in the virtual setup. Your eye was always on the camera. We felt that you are honestly speaking to us. And then you ended with a marvelous message to take home. Web of communication, of interactions. Speak with your children. This is something that I would definitely take back home, and I would definitely speak with my children more. Thank you so much for marvelous speech. But for an awe-inspiring speech, there must be some areas of improvement. And these are just my humble opinion. In the introduction, I felt you jumped in directly with dashing energy, which is excellent. But in my humble opinion, if you could have just take a little bit more to hook the audience, could be a question, could be an act. I know that the stage was a limiting factor in your case, but maybe a question. You could have asked a questions for all of us to grab our attention. This is one. The other thing is you said that there would be 3 things at the beginning of your speech. And I was waiting. I wrote one, and you started saying Mary and the novel of Mary, but I could not comprehend the other. So if you could have at the end of your speech, I know it was a really strong message. If you can just, in summary, this is what I spoke, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you should go on with your message. Overall, in summary, great structure of the speech, great energy, great facial expression and body language. If you could have improved on the dashing introduction with your energy and the summary before you conclude the message, you will take the speech into an international speech. Thank you so much. I wish to hear more from you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Khalid, for that wonderful constructive feedback. Third speaker, Toastmaster Azam, was evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster Faraz Farooq. Distinguished Toastmaster Faraz, for your evaluation, the screen is all yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator, dear Toastmasters and guests, and our dashing speaker, awe-inspiring speaker, Toastmaster Hazim. Thank you for that heartwarming speech about the heart made of marshmallows, a heart that I'm sure every single one of us here has savored the taste of, but at times we would tend to forget how important it is. And you reminded me how important that heart is. Thanks a lot, sir. The speech was full of positives, and let me just quickly rattle them out before I run out of time. What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? Probing rhetoric, absolutely necessary for an international speech, and the same words repeated at well-placed moments of the speech, kept asking important questions. Well done on that. Their use of humor was brilliant right throughout. Let me quote a few. Who gave my mom a Facebook account? That was funny, I thought. And then the toilet seat, I'm still single. I'm married and I still get worried if somebody will talk about toilet seat for me. Then we had a number of other, so essentially the humor was very well placed. And I found that you used triads in a negative sense, which also brought out humor, like the friends who smoke, drink, and who had criminal records. That's lovely, triad and bringing a humor. There was also another one, the naughty chair, no marshmallows, go into your room. Lovely, sir, beautiful, beautiful. Who uses a quote from a former world champion of public speaking and makes the audience laugh? Craig Valentine, sorry, sir, you're a humorist now, not a champion. Well done, sir, super. Next, let's move on to storytelling ability. That's very clear. This man here, our speaker, is a great storyteller. Keep working on that. This is your love. This is your strength. I love the way the message was brought about. This is not the traditional way a message comes through. He says, no, I don't want you to do this. No, I don't want you to do this. I say, what do you want us to do? and then he comes up with the message, and that's a brilliant way of bringing an important message. This is what I want you to do. And he brought the solemnness of the entire message at the end in a lovely way. I really felt it. To improve, we had the mother, we had the boss. The boss had a bit of a voice. The mother is the central figure. Give her a voice and give her a central place in your speech. Use the stage, give her a central place. You can place the boss somewhere as well. So the points are: use voice, use space to differentiate between the characters. This is a lovely virtual stage, brother. You sneaked in, you snuck in one location, in one part of your speech. Act it out and show it to us. Show us sneaking in. Let that be seen. This is a virtual environment. And I did find a bit difficulty with your sounds, so you probably need to look into that. In summary, Toastmaster Hazim spoke about a heart of marshmallows, but he melted this heart of stone. Sir, I am much obliged. I will get back to you after the speech with more feedback. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster, for us for that magnificent evaluation for that speech. All the speakers have done a great job, actually. And I would only recommend later on for general in the remarks. Before that, I will take the timing of the individual evaluators from the timer. Toastmaster Deepak, can you give the evaluators timing, please?
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed. All the evaluators are qualified. Toastmaster Zara, 3 minutes 18 seconds. DTM Khalid, 3 minutes 15 seconds. And DTM Faraz, 3 minutes 28 seconds. Just qualified. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
That's experience.
What an all-inspiring speeches, all inspiring evaluations, and all inspiring topics which was brought out today. Thank you so much, speakers. For the general remarks, I have only to comment on the assignees today. Assignees have taken up the roles and they did their explanation of the roles very well at the beginning, and the Toastmaster of the day introduced them, and they have carried out their assignments so perfectly so far. And the table topic master, although there were some glitches in the spinning the wheel, I think the wheel was half seen. Nevertheless, he was able to get names who have left the meeting, and unfortunately, number of names which came up in the spring wheel was all have left the meeting. Table topics was also very inspiring, and the topics and the words given to use in the table topics was also inspiring. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sudas, for having done a marvelous job as a table topic master. A few recommendations before meeting and during meeting and after meeting, we will say. For before meeting, I would just recommend with education we have very handful of members in our club, so just allocate them for each and every role and send it. If they decline, then I think we may be able to look for another replacement from outside the club or from our club itself who are not doing a role. So put the names and send it if they can do the speech. Even if you put a speech for me, if I can do, I will definitely do so. That might avoid a lot of confusions later on, even when the agenda is adopted. So better we will avoid that part of the evaluations. For the speakers, I would like to say, if you all would want to watch the recording of this meeting, if the three speakers can watch, you will see the difference between the three speakers. One is the Toastmaster Azam, who did a wonderful speech, standing, moving, gestures, etc. At the same time, if you would have watched the speech of Toastmaster Gina, on Dr. Gina John, only her head, the screen was full up, empty, only the head, but the hands were coming up. If she could have stood up and delivered the speech, the dramatization would have been excellent, really awe-inspired. Rinku, yes, she was fully seen, but still, she could have stood and spoken, I think the speech would have been had a greater impact. Overall, it was a very inspiring speeches. Thank you all so much for giving that. Now it is time for us to take the reports from our assignees. May I invite the grammarian to give the grammarian's report, please?
Thank you very much to our awe-inspiring General Evaluator. To start off with my report, let me begin with some remarkable quotes or sayings and a phrase which I captured during the meeting. The first one is, we are going beyond our imagination. Second one, it's a phrase, roof of my heaven. And the third one, mothers bring us on the right track. And the fourth one, this one was shared in the chat box by DTM Ali Shabazz. And it says, God could not be everywhere, and therefore he made mothers beautiful. Second part is the grammatically incorrect ones. Okay, I'm going to lay out here or mention some of the rules in grammar. Okay, the first one in my list is one of the contestants instead of saying one of the contestant. We know that the rule in grammar is a number followed by an of phrase. The noun in the of phrase should always be plural because we know for sure, we know exactly that there are many or several contestants here. So one of the contestants is, that's the verb, it's always plural. The noun in the of phrase should always be plural. One of the students, one of the members, it's always plural. Second is ourself. Instead of saying that, we ourselves. The speaker includes himself or herself, meaning there are members there, and then the speaker is one of the members. So we ourselves, instead of saying we ourselves. The third one, people of different nationalities. Okay, different nationalities, two or more. Instead of saying people of different nationality, because when you say nationality, you are talking or referring to only one nationality. So people of different, the word different, that's already the clue, different nationalities. And lives, okay, it should be lives, stories shared about our lives. We can use lives, apostrophe with S, possessive, and say lives, apostrophe, there's apostrophe there, lives, surprises. But when you say stories shared about our lives, plural. Another one that I captured, my mother gave me confidence. Okay, that should be confidence, not confident. My mom helped me to be confident, to be a confident speaker. But say my mother gave me confidence, it's a noun. Why it's a noun? Because when you talk about sentence patterns, this one is STVIODO, and gave me what? Confidence here is direct object. Direct object is always either a noun or a pronoun. So gave me what? Confidence, okay? Again, the direct object is always either a noun or a pronoun. Gave me a cake, gave me a pencil, okay? You cannot use an adjective there. So reality story, instead of saying that, I think it's better to say a true to life story. Instead of saying reality story, true to life story. What else okay, another one here is mom who is, when you are talking about a person, mom who is, okay, not mom which is, we use that pronoun to refer it to an object, which is the book which I borrowed, the house which I, for example, bought, okay? But when you are talking about a person or people, my mom who is my inspiration, for example. And table, the last one is table topics session. It's a special noun, no? Just like mathematics, physics, civics, okay? They always end with S, table topics session, not table topic session. It's wrong. It's table topic session is, okay? Though it sounds like plural, okay? But it's considered singular. Next, the word of the day. I heard only 2 speakers who used the word of the day. DTM Khalid, he used it for 7 times. And DTM Farhas once. I think that's all. Thank you very much. And back to you, our inspiring General Evaluator, DTM Ahmed Rizvi. Thank you very much.
Excellent record of grammatical errors and grammarian's job. Thank you, Toastmaster Daisy, for that wonderful I think you missed out how many times I used the awe-inspiring word. Never mind. Coming to the point of grammatical errors, yes, we make mistakes in this plural and singular words and etc. This is very important for us to note. And thanks for bringing out that report so nicely and so precisely. Give a round of applause to the grammarian ladies and gentlemen. It was one of the report days, Toastmaster days. Before I control to the master of ceremonies and take the report of the account, I would like to say a few words about our president and the Toastmaster of the day today. He played the dual role so well. And
Mr. General, Welter, sorry to interrupt. Can I run the poll as well so we can have time for the certificate toward the end?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. I think DTM Ahmed, you can continue while you can vote and continue while everyone else votes.
Toastmaster of the day as well as the president's vote, and he transitioned himself so well from the president's role, and after finishing all his leadership business session and coming to the master of ceremonies was a very good transition, and he continued making a difference that he is no more a president but a Toastmaster of the day, and he changed his way of conducting the meeting in a different way with jokes and humor, etc. That's the spirit of Toastmasters. And when you are conducting the business session, yes, you take the authority, you do it so professionally, and then you become a little lighter in the Master of Ceremonies session. Very good introductions of all the speakers as well as the interview evaluators and all the assignees. Thank you so much. Give a round of applause to the Master of Ceremonies. Very well done. So timing is excellent. And let me have the accountant's report from Toastmaster Nada.
Hi, so for the table topics, we took count of ahs, ums, and other interjections. So speaker 1, Ali Shahbaz, on the topic of tolerance, impressively had no ums or ahs or any other inappropriate interjections. Speaker 2, Juraz Wankadi, on the topic of modesty, had 6 ums and 1 ah. Speaker number 3, Daisy Cervantes, on the topic of supportive, had 2 ums, 6 ahs, 6 ahs. Speaker number 4, Akhlaq Abbasi, on self-control, had 3 ahs, 4 ahs, and 2 ums. And then the final, before last, Ratinder on workaholic had 3 ahs, and the last speaker, Muhammad Verqoudin, on spirituality had 1 ah. So that's all the counts.
Wow. What a wonderful listening skill here. It's, the word used and the number of gap fillers used. Wonderful. Give a round of applause to Toastmaster. Thank you so much. Coming to the conclusion of the general evaluation for today, yes, it has been a very awe-inspiring meeting, a very emotional meeting with a very emotional team, mothers. We may all have an art made of marshmallows, but when it comes to choose the best, let us make the best aroma of our childhood, which was given to us by our mothers. With that, I hand control back to our Master of Ceremonies, distinguished Toastmaster Khalid.
Oh, thank you so much, DTM Ahmed Rizvi, and for all of the role players as well as part of the general evaluator roles. Thank you so much for an awe-inspiring report. As you can see, there is the poll for the best evaluator. We have 2 more votes to finish the 13 that we have right now. And I would just wait for a few seconds for that to happen. And while waiting, let me go to one more quote on mothers. Successful mothers are not the ones that never struggled. They are the ones that never give up despite the struggles.
Bahrain will host free courses on learning how to invest in the stock market. In the course.
Okay, that was a lovely commercial break as well in between. Great, thank you so much for
Mr.
all.
President, the quote again, please. It was too fast. I couldn't write it down.
Okay, I would, on the voting part, I would send it to you.
No, successful mothers.
Okay, you're writing this as well. Okay, I'll repeat it. That's fine. Successful mothers are not the ones that never struggled. They are the ones that never give up despite the struggles. By Sharon Janis. That's definitely true. We all, hats off to all mothers in the house, our own mothers as well, for I think they redefined what struggles, the word struggles means, and they accept it with this is true unconditional love. And I would love to see DTM, I can see DTM, Ahmed Faraz, I think, where is DTM Said Abbas? Is not here, but I'm sure he would have loved that connection. By the way, this is one of the themes that we had, unconditional love. And this theme still lives whenever we say the word unconditional love. And these are the meeting themes that we have. We really live the meeting themes, not just during the meetings, but even before, after the meetings, and especially this unconditional love stays there for 2 years now. I think 2 years, more than 2 years, and we still remember that unconditional love. Now is the time to hand back the control to the president to hear our winners. But let me, before I hand over the president, who is also eagerly waiting, let me just check with the Vice President of Education if he is ready with the certificates. I think he wants to have more time, right? I was very quiet. You're muted, DTM Farhad.
Sorry, the Vice President of Education was busy having fun in the meeting. He completely forgot his responsibility. Sorry about that. Just bear with me for 3 minutes, sir. You can please continue.
3 minutes. Okay, no worries, no worries. I can really fill in those 3 minutes very wisely. And saying the word wisely, let me hear from a mother among us here as well, who has been here silently let me introduce her. She was here. Okay, I know that she came late, but she wanted to be here and she wants to stay until the last minute of this meeting. She's none other than Fahad, right? Our Area 23 Director, Toastmaster Ala. Can we hear one word about mothers, being a mother yourself?
Hi, good evening, everybody. It's nice to meet you all, and I have fun to catch this meeting, alhamdulillah, on time, and listen especially to Sayyid Hazem and to his speech. Mother, no, I cannot explain mother in one word, no way. It's very unfair. I think the mother is everything in the world. Until now, I'm in this age, I need my mother. I need to talk with her about everything. I need her support. I need her words. I need her dua. Everything. Mothers in my world is everything. So as well, my children now, they are my everything in my world. That's it.
Wow. So nice to hear from a Toastmaster,
Thank
a
you.
mother of Toastmaster, talking about herself as being a mother and talking about Mother's Day. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Idiala,
Thank you
for
very much.
joining us here today and staying until the end.
Thank you. Inshallah. Thank you very much.
We would love to hear as well from many other guests. I think our Vice President of Education is a little bit having some hiccups with his certificates. So shall we just announce it as it is, and then definitely, and we'll definitely send the certificate to everyone after the meeting. Great, so let me take the honor to call on the President, and the President is on the stage right now. Thank you so much, Master of Ceremonies, for running the meeting smoothly. We have 3 minutes to end the meeting. So let me just call on the best of the best. Today, we are all sure all of us are winners, but somehow the House voted for the following. Best table topics, commentators. I know I'm just a bit worried about the grammarian. She's still writing. I hope that she's not writing my mistakes. So the best evaluators, we have a tie today. The best evaluators are two backbones of this club. DTM, Ali Shahbaz, and DTM Ratinder Nah.
Best table topics, Mr. President.
Best table topics. Oh, see, the grammarian scared me. Okay, the best table topics. Best table topics are DTM Ali Shahbaz and DTM Ratinder Nah. And the best evaluator is, see, the good thing about the best evaluator, both of them were co-hosts, so they could not vote for themselves, but they all were looking at the results. Best evaluator is none other than the club champion, DTM Farhad Farouk. And the best speaker for today. I think it was really tough to pick the best speaker. The three speakers were brilliant, to be honest, all of them. But the House called on for Toastmaster Sayyid Hazem. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sayyid Hazem. Thank you. You were also brilliant. And I think it was very close for calling who was the best speaker. But yeah, both of you and Dr. Gina, of course, did a brilliant job. Thank you so much for being you during the Mother's Day. Thank you everyone for joining us today to our meeting. It was really fruitful meeting. We look forward to having you in our future meetings, and definitely we would enjoy your presence. And 1 minute before time, I call meeting number 212 adjourned. Please don't leave. We would love to hear from you as guests. Please don't leave if you can. And we need to have group photo. See, our Vice President of Public Relations is a bit concerned. So let's as well address her concern. If we can have everyone switching their camera on, please, so we can have a lovely group photo.